Hello, everyone. My name is C, and I am the owner of CLM Custom Designs on Etsy as well as on YouTube. You are now here for the segment From the Ground Up, where I interview entrepreneurs and small business owners. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you like, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything that is coming down the pike. I am releasing new things on my channel all the time. I'm going to start off by apologizing in advance because I am not 100%. I am a slightly under the weather. So if I cough, snort, any of that, just ignore it because I'm sure it is going to happen. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. I have Miss Barbara James here with us. Miss Barbara, please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara with Barb's Brilliant Gems. I am an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories, and I sell $5 gems. And we sell bracelets, earrings, necklaces with complimentary earrings, rings, hair clips, and we also have a men's urban line. Women can wear some of the pieces, like some of the necklaces and bracelets they can't wear. But yeah, and everything's $5.
Wow, well, that's interesting. I'm a little bit familiar with paparazzi, but I don't believe at the time that I knew of paparazzi, they had a men's line. Is that new?
Yes, they do. They kind of branched out a little more this year.
Oh, okay. So that's
Nice.
new this year. Cool. Nice. Well, how long have you been doing paparazzi, first of all?
Actually, I just celebrated my 1 year. They
Wow.
call it Papaversary. So they mix paparazzi and
Right.
anniversary together. So
Right.
1 year Papaversary was November 29th. I actually signed up on their Cyber Monday.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. So what led you to paparazzi? Were you doing other things? Were you looking for your niche? Kind of what brought you?
I actually have been. I love all things bling, first of all, and
Okay.
my mom, she always wore jewelry, and I love jewelry, and I have been shopping as a customer for over 3 years, so I knew about the product. I love the product, and I knew at some point I wanted to get into the business. Um, and my mentor, she would, like, every now and again, she would send me like little, because they had promotions every now and again. So
Okay.
she would send them to me, and in my mind I was like, I'm going to start in 2022.
Okay.
and and then when she sent me the promotion into 2021, I said, well, I might as well just sign up. I already know that's what I want to do anyway. So and here I am. And I
Okay.
also had like friends who were buying from other consultants, and I'm like, I was like introducing them to other consultants. I'm like, why don't I just like do it for myself and have them buy from me? So
Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of times a business is born out of the things that we're purchasing. We
right,
buy so much, and you turn around and think, I could be making either the commission off myself or I could be getting it a
at
little
the
cheaper,
discount.
which
Yeah,
I don't know how much of a discount you can already get off of $5, but in
they
any
actually
event,
have like 45% commission with the
wow.
business.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. So a lot of times if you're looking at becoming a small business owner and thinking about what you can do, you might want to look at some of the things that you're already purchasing from people and think, is that something that I can kind of do for myself? So
that's
thank you.
exactly why. 'Cause it was like 1 month I had purchased enough to buy a kit. Basically, I'm like, I could have bought a kit instead of buying it full price from you. So I'm like, let me just get the kit, because even if I decide that I don't want to sell it, I can still get it at the discount. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. And then, like you said, you were referring people to other people when,
Mhm.
you could have been collecting those sales yourself.
Right.
And of course, one thing I will say, paparazzi is all about the bling. So if you are a bling person,
Yes. Yes.
that is probably the space that you definitely want to be in.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you thought about it though in 2020 and was thinking in 2022 you were going to sign up. So what was your hesitation at that time? What was preventing you from just jumping in?
I wasn't ready to like sell at that point, and I was enjoying just having the easy, route, just buying, and and then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I might as well, because the more I procrastinate, I probably wouldn't do it. So I'm like, well, I might as well just set a time frame in my head and stick to it. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And there's no perfect time. Sometimes we try to figure out what's going to be the perfect time. When is my money going to be right and my circumstances
Right.
going to be right? And that never ever, at least not for me. And I don't
either.
It's never a perfect time. You just kind of got to jump in, take
Right.
a leap, and just kind of see what happens. Kind of from there. So it took you 2 years to decide. Now, within that 2 years, were you researching it? Were you
Yes.
figuring out how you wanted to do your, like, what were you doing within that time?
Yes. So the person that I was buying from, who is now my mentor, she was like, you know, we have, they have, I guess, I don't know what they're called, but you can call in people that are interested, and people that are actually already with the business who are making money. They kind of tell you about it and like where they started and everything. And then whatever questions I had for her, she was very quick to answer them. So it wasn't something I just jumped into. It was something I really researched. And she said, if your husband even has questions, he can always, ask me or sit in on any of the, phone meetings. So it was, and I told it over with my kids. I told them like that's what I wanted to do. So it was something that was thought about and researched before I actually decided to get into the business. And I felt like it wasn't the startup, because you can start out with $99, and I didn't feel like that was a lot of money. And I was in a position at that point where I could do it. Whereas before, the year before, I probably wasn't, like, because that was like the beginning of COVID and, finances, it just wasn't there. But in 2021, at the end of 2021, I was in a better place financially that I was ready to start.
Gotcha. So no matter what business you're thinking about, research is definitely fundamental. And I love that you said you had a discussion with your family, because any small business owner knows that if you're going to be successful, you're going to have everybody on board, because what you don't want to do is be trying to do this and you got the husband fussing because he don't want you doing all the kids saying that you ain't spending enough time with them and everything else that we have to do. So I love the fact that before you kind of talked to everybody, you counted the cost and kind of got everybody on board and figured out how you could do this. And that way you have some sustainability, because you don't want to jump into something, spend the money or whatever, and then not be able to do it. And then it's sitting in a corner.
Right.
So this way you've kind of counted the costs up front. And I love that. And I love that they said that they were willing to talk to your husband, because sometimes we might say stuff and they'd be like, yeah, you just told me that because this is what you want to do.
Right.
But he was able to talk to someone who was established in a business, and they could kind of vouch for what that looks like. So I absolutely love that. So okay, now you jump in. Is this the only thing you do, or were you working full time at the time? I mean, I know you're a mother and a wife. That's something. So let's discount that.
I have a job, full-time job. I work from home. I'm a medical transcriptionist, and also at the time, also in 2020, that's probably another reason why I didn't start. I was going to school for billing and coding.
Okay.
So my hands, I had a lot on my plate, and I just wasn't ready then. And then I finished school and passed my test October 2021. So I kind of had everything out the way, and I was in position to do it then.
Okay. And what I always tell people, COVID brought about a lot of bad things, no doubt about it. But it also brought about good things. A lot of people got to work from home, which gave them a little extra time to look into some other things, to kind of pursue some side hustles and get that established. So that was one positive thing that I always bring out about COVID. So we're busy, you got a whole lot going on and everything, but you decided to do this business. And so how key is organization to being able to be successful in the business?
For me, I have to be organized. I kind of know what stuff is, because my brain, when I'm not organized, I don't focus properly. And it took me a minute, and I like, because now, like, when I do lives every on Facebook, and I started sorting my product. So when people would ask, red jewelry, I could just, because right behind me is where my jewelry is.
Okay.
I do a little bit and pull it out, and I love how you have everything organized, So, and that helps me with sales too, because if you don't know where stuff is, you're looking in boxes and you're like, oh, I got to get back to you. And then by that time, they might be like, I don't want it now.
So, someone else, right?
Yeah. So being organized is definitely important.
Gotcha. Okay, yes, I would definitely say that that's the key to a lot too. To be organized, it saves you a lot of time. A lot of time. The other thing that I wanted to ask you, so with your business, do you is everything will you have to keep a lot of inventory? Is it just where they order and it's sent to them, or how does that work?
So in the beginning, they want you to have enough inventory. So when, because I do lives, I do wall drops, I'm on Instagram. I like to have, and I like to show um, my product in sets. So I like to have enough pieces so I can show a set. So in the beginning, they do want you. I mean, they don't tell you how much to spend. And
Okay.
I think for me in the beginning, I was like, oh, new, because they drop new items Monday through Friday.
Oh wow.
Get new pieces every day. And in the beginning, I was like, ooh, new. So I was kind of getting caught up in the new. And then I decided, let me just kind of calm down with it because I have enough inventory
Yes,
now.
yes, sir.
So when I do my lives, I show whatever I have in stock and then I
Okay.
ship. But down below where it says paparazziaccessories.com, we also have our own website. So people can
Okay.
order directly whatever is available through paparazzi. They can order directly through the website and it ships from paparazzi straight to them. So,
Okay. Okay. And I asked that just simply because, do they have to have a bunch of like you pay the fee to get in? Do people have to have a whole bunch of stuff to get started? Can they just get started with little? Some people are intimidated by, a lot,
right.
but little seems like that's manageable or doable. So, okay.
Yeah, you can just sell from your kit in the beginning. And but you don't always, if you're live a lot, you don't want to keep showing the same stuff to the same people over and over again. So that's why they, say that if you sell something, replenish it. But I think a lot of us kind of get stuck in our head. People that have been in the business for a while, they got a lot of inventory. So we think like, oh, we got to have that too. But no, I don't feel like, don't get yourself in debt for something and it may not be what you want it to be, or you may not sell. Because this business, I can be during COVID, people did very well. And now that people are not home anymore and they're doing their own thing, it's taken me a while to kind of get to where I would like to be.
Okay.
And so I think somebody said it's a marathon, not a race, and everybody's business is at a different pace. So
Yeah.
if it's something that you like to do, you shouldn't expect like an instant, because businesses are, any business is like that. You have good days, you have bad days. So
Yeah, yeah. And I love that. And I tell people all the time, you can't chase the dollar because sometimes the dollar's there and sometimes the dollar's not. So you have to love what you do.
right,
Or like you said, you love wearing it. So even if you're not selling it, you're wearing it and you're getting
right,
the benefit. But you have to have that piece where you're loving something about that business that's going to keep pushing you through when it's not necessarily making financial, dollars that you wanted to make.
right.
But I love what Serena said. She said, I like that she jumped in on the social media piece. And that's what I was going to say. A lot of businesses, but more so your business, the key is social media. And I know
Mhm.
for me, I jumped in social media at an older age. So
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily the friendliest. I didn't
Right.
necessarily want to be front and center on
Right.
camera. You know what I mean? It was a
Yes.
whole lot of things that was going through my head when it was like, okay, you're gonna be in front of people. So how was that? Or how is that, I should say, for you?
So that's funny that you brought that up because I mean, you don't have to go live to sell the product, but it's good to have your face out there, be out there. And I remember my first live, my mentor asked me at the end, she's like, what was your favorite part about your live? I'm like, the ending.
I love it.
I was glad when it was
Wow.
over. 'Cause I don't like people staring at me. Like, it's just, I'm not that person. So it definitely took me a while. And also, like, it's strange too, because on Facebook you don't see the person. You just, they're commenting. So it's weird. So that was just uncomfortable in the beginning, and then trying to figure out what to say. And she would tell me like, ask them what they having for dinner, ask them how the weather is, just little things. People like to talk about themselves, so she's like, just ask them questions, and people interact with you, or they interact with other people that are on your page, and don't feel scared about the silence. It's okay. So now I'm comfortable with it. I mean, I still get like a little nervous, like right before I hit that live button, but once I, a minute in, I'm fine. But
Good.
that was definitely an adjustment for me in the beginning.
Yeah, and so that's important because there's a lot of people who feel that way. There's a lot of people who don't want to be seen on social media, a lot of people who don't want to do it. And it's not that you have to, like you said, in order to be successful, but people are on there. People are shopping, they're trolling. I mean, if you just think about how much you scroll on social media, right?
Yeah.
So people are doing that. And they're
That's
looking.
how I found my mentor.
Okay. Yeah. And so you want to be visible, what I mean? You want to be out there, you want to be competitive, you got to go to where the people are, and people are definitely on social media. So I love that. Doesn't matter what age or whatever, you can jump on there and like you said, and get on there. So I think that is great. So as you were jumping into this or whatever, were there any struggles per se to get there, something that was really, really hard that you thought might have deterred you, but you ended up pushing through? Because sometimes people look at people that are doing lives with paparazzi and they look like they're having so much fun and smiling and they're dancing and they're jingling bells or whatever, but they don't always understand what it takes to get there. So I never like to mislead my people and say that it's all fun. There are some struggles that come with all businesses. So share a little bit of your struggles.
For me, it was just getting followers, people to actually come on my page. Like a lot of times, even now, a year in, I might have 1 or 5 people, or maybe 10. I mean, 10 is great, but it's be crickets. I could be talking to myself. So that was like frustrating for me in the beginning because like I said, I watched other consultants and they had 10, 20, 30, and it's like, and they say, be consistent. And I always like, I would go live every Sunday. I would do wall drops. And I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm still not, getting
results.
And so they were like, you have to try different things. So I would go on Instagram. And in the beginning, on Instagram, I would have people pop on, but nobody bought anything. But after a couple of times, people would come on and buy. So I would do wall drops. I would do giveaways. I would try different things. And now, like I'm doing Zoom parties, I get more money from Zoom parties than actual live. Like most of my money is not through my lives. A lot of people say they'll watch the replay. And I have very few people that watch my replay. But if I do a wall drop, people will buy from my wall drops. My Zoom parties, I just did one. And everybody that was on the Zoom party, none of them had heard of paparazzi before.
Wow.
So, and they all bought something. So you have to try different avenues because if one doesn't work, you have to try another one. Facebook was great, especially during COVID. A lot of people picked up customers that way. But now we're out and about now. So if they're going to be on Facebook, it's not normally with a new person, it's somebody new. So that was my struggle, getting people and having that consistent amount of people on and not being discouraged when nobody bought anything. I mean, I did sell every week, but it was it can be frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, especially we tend to, even though we know we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people. Oh, well, she's on there and she's got 1 million people on there watching her. It's just a natural tendency. It's human. And so we think, okay, I'm gonna put myself out there. And after we gear ourselves up, right? Because it takes us so long to like get geared up to do it. And then you do all of this and you set everything up and you take probably like 4 hours to get ready and then
nothing.
No one shows up, right? But I love what you said, consistency, because eventually someone is going to show up. And sometimes people are watching you. You don't even know if they're watching you. You'll get something later. And it's like, I saw you live. And you're like, oh, you did?
Yeah.
That is true. It's like for me with these interviews, sometimes I have a lot of people in here and sometimes I don't, but I can always count on Serena. I'm going to get a shout out right now because she is my consistent behind the scenes co-star, co-pilot. She's making sure the sound is right, no echoes and all of that. So I'm going to shout you out, Serena, right now because I believe in giving people their flowers. So
I think we all have a Serena because I have one person she may not buy every time, but she shares me out. She'll come on my live, she comments, and she's been doing that since day one.
Yeah.
So like share me out to other people. So yeah, I think and she
Yeah.
seriously, she's like on almost every time I go live, or she'll, if I post something, she'll like it or she'll comment. So yeah, it's good.
And it's like your hype man. It's somebody who's getting everybody buzzed. So that
Yeah.
is the gem from the gem lady. Get yourself a hype man.
Yes.
Everybody needs one.
That is so
You know,
true.
so then that's and the good thing about that is, you know, if you're not on, your hype person's gonna be like, where you at? Because they're looking for
Yep.
you and nobody else is looking for you. So again,
Right.
you
That
you
is so true.
you definitely need somebody there. So yeah, there are definite struggles that come with the social media game, but you got to keep pushing through, and you got to keep, and don't compare yourself. It's hard, but definitely don't do that. But what are some of the good things that came out of deciding to be an entrepreneur and create this side hustle? Because there are upsides to it as well.
Well, yeah, of course I've made some money. And
Helpful.
I've met new people, and I'm more confident now, not just through my life, it's just talking to other people, like being more informal, talking to people. And I've learned things about myself as well along the way. Like, I'm not necessarily a quitter anyway, but there have been several times where I'm just like, you know, but I enjoy the product. I enjoy showing it to other people. And what I liked also about the Zoom party, these are pieces that I had showed several times and nobody, had purchased. And I showed it to them. Like, just about everything I showed to them, they were like so excited. And that helped me to get more, like, my excitement back with the product. Because it is a good product, and people like it. So,
and it's affordable. I mean, affordability
exactly.
is one of the great things I think about it, because the pieces, you can get the look that you want. And what I love about it is that if I break it, if I lose it, I ain't really going to sweat it too much, because I haven't made a huge investment. And I know for me, I was just saying this to somebody, even with wedding rings now, like, you have to have a fake wedding ring and then the real one, because you can't be out here blinging crazy in some of the streets, right? So paparazzi allows you to still bling, but be okay. Nobody's trying to cut your hand or your neck off to get what you want. So that's I mean, who would have thought we would ever been in a place like that? But this is where we are. So there are things to consider. But I also love that you said Zoom, because there are other things other than Facebook and Instagram. They're not the only places. I tell people all the time, Nextdoor, people sleep on Nextdoor, but you can get a lot of sales and make a lot of connections from the Nextdoor app.
Yeah, I have to give. I do agree with my husband. He uses Nextdoor a lot. I haven't really been on it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Zoom, StreamYard, like, there's all kind of ways. So definitely, I would say check out some other avenues. And I love that you said you learned things about yourself. And one thing I find as an entrepreneur is, at my work, every now and again, people will say, thank you, you did a good job, that type of thing. But generally, as a whole, I don't really get that.
Right.
At home, you get that, but it's like what you got to do. But now in your own business, people are really appreciative, because you really have something that they want. They're seeking you out. And so you get that kind of gratification. And I think it's important for everybody to get. It's not that we seek accolations or anything like that, but it's kind of nice when people are appreciative of your consistency, of your customer service, the way you treat people. So I think that's important, and definitely confidence, because if you're going to talk on live to nobody, you certainly have no problem stopping somebody in the grocery store and talking to them. It develops all kind of skills you didn't even think you needed, but you do. So, definitely, there are definitely some plus sides to do it. McFire Bug says that Nextdoor is the way to go. That's a thought. Yes, Nextdoor app, download it, get with it. And hey, so you are based out of Charlotte, correct?
Yes, I'm
But
in Indian Trail, so it's like 9 miles outside of Charlotte. Yeah.
okay. But with your business, you can service people every and anywhere, correct?
Yeah, I have customers in Michigan, Texas, Delaware, Philly, like all over because we ship in the United States, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So
Okay.
yeah,
So with this type of business, you're not limited, and yet another reason for social media, because you can contact people every and anywhere by people that you wouldn't normally see just by walking down the street.
right.
So, that's another great thing. So in those type of businesses, what is the support like? You know,
So we have
good
they
support.
call them uplines.
Mhm.
They're mentors above us, I guess, and so my upline has an upline and their upline. So we're all like under that umbrella. And they have like inspirational, I don't know if that's what they call it, motivational. Like they have days where they motivate you because they,
Okay.
like every Monday, somebody on one of my uplines, she'll have her like, somebody will be a guest speaker or she'll talk about whatever struggles people might be going through. And then we also have like in our Facebook, we have chats where everybody, if you need help with something or if you're having a bad day, like, they have a support system in that way. And then they have, of course, paparazzi does things. They send you out emails and everything. So they try to keep up with the good things and the bad things. And they kind of help you kind of stay on track and let you know, like, this is not, a get rich quick kind of thing. Some people some people out the gate can do well, but as a majority, it's something you have to work on if you really like it. So
yeah. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. If you're in it and to do something quick, this is probably not for you because it takes the time. It takes lots of times. I mean, years, not just 6 months. It takes years and years. But if you love what you do, it won't feel like it's years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you'll be fine. But I asked you about the support because I think it's important when you're an entrepreneur to surround yourself around great people, around people who can kind of understand, because we live in a somewhat negative world and there's a lot of people who's going to be telling you, oh, you can't really do that, there's too many people selling jewelry, nah, it's only $5, it's cheap. So you're going to hear all the negative.
Right.
But I think when you're in business, it's important to surround yourself around people who are positive, people who want to see you succeed, and things like that. So I think it's important to see what type of network that you're feeding into, that you can get the support when you need it. And like you said, on the days that you feel like you want to quit, there's someone there to kind of hold you accountable.
Yes.
For what you're doing. And I know that spouses are kind of good for that, because once they see what you invest, it's kind of like, yep, keep going, because you see this pile of stuff back here, we got to get it moving. So.
My daughter is actually like one of my biggest supporters. Every time before I go live, have a good live, and then afterwards, like, how was your live?
Nice.
Every time I go live, she always is there, like, have a good live.
That's good. So if you were sharing with someone who was thinking about getting into business, what type of tips would you give them for entrepreneurial life in sales?
I have 2 people that have asked me about the business a couple of times. And so, I tell them that it's work. And it may not, like, I try to be upfront and truthful. Like, I'm not going to like feed you this, oh, it's wonderful. I enjoy it because one of the person, she's like, I'm really busy. Like, do I have to go live? No, you don't have to go live. You can do all jobs. Whatever is in your comfort level, because it's your business. The way I run my business is not going to be the way you run it. Whatever they ask me, I try to answer truthfully, honestly, and to my understanding. And if I don't know something, there's always other people I can ask. So, and I leave it up to them. I don't try to pressure people to get into something. Because me, my mentor, he wasn't constantly pressuring me. every now and then she would, kind of throw a little nugget there and let it fall.
Yeah.
But she didn't like stay on me. And so that's what I try not to like. I know people are interested in it, and eventually if that's what they want to do, they know where I am. I'm still here. So.
As people do what they want to do and what they don't want to do, they don't. But in your business, you are building a team, I would assume. Is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to. In the beginning, that was not my aim. I was focused on just trying to get myself until I got myself. But now I'm more comfortable in the business, and so I would love to have people.
Because people have different goals when they enter business. Some people just say, I want to sell. It's just a hobby. I just kind of want to sell. Some people say, I just want to get it at a discount for myself. And then there are some people that say, hey, I want to build a team. I want to see where this can go, and different things like that. So everybody's at a different place. So when you first came in, like you said, you was like, I'm buying this. I can do this, and then as time progressed, so now you're at the page where after a year, you're saying, hey, okay, I'd like to build a team. Yeah. This is what I would like. So Barbara is now telling you that if you would like to join Paparazzi, no pressure, something that you're interested in, me, a team, and it doesn't matter where you live, right?
Nope. Right. You live anywhere in the United States.
Reach out to her and let her know that you're interested in being on her.
Because my mentor, she's in Florida, so I've never met her.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Gotcha. And if you just want to buy, again, all her things are down there. Tell them where they can find you at.
So I am on Facebook and Instagram under Barb's Brilliant Gems, the same name on both my social medias. And also I have a paparazzi website that is on there where you can also shop at your convenience. The numbers are what differentiates me from other consultants. So that's my consultant number. So if you shop that, then I'll get a commission fee.
Okay. So
you can also click that link to join my team. It directs you to the same spot.
Okay. So no pressure. You can go on the website. You can join the team. They don't have to reach out to you directly, but if they have questions or anything else, they certainly can reach out to you to talk to you about how to do that. So that's awesome. And that's kind of nice too, because there is no pressure. You can go on the website, you can browse, you can do whatever, you can think about it. But I also think it's important sometimes to talk to people so you can get a kind of a feel, because not everybody works with the same person. So sometimes it's like closing your eyes and you're like, no, but you want to connect with someone who you feel like kind of has your same values and kind of going where you're trying to go in your business. And I'm sure that's probably important for you too, because you don't just want any old body on your team. I mean, I think about that. It's not so much people selecting you. You get to choose too. Like, let me talk to you and see if you can be on my team, right? Because you're building something. It is, it's your reputation. It's who you are. So you want to make sure that whoever you have on your team who is representing the Brilliant Gems is doing that in a way that's compatible for what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So definitely need to consider that both ways. And I always laugh at that, because someone told me that one time I was signing up for a class. And they were like, we only let certain people in our class. And I was like, what? I got the money. I'm just going to pay like everyone else. They're like, no, we have to go through an interview process first. And after we talk to you, we'll see.
Wow. And
initially, I was like, I don't understand that. But then after I talked to them, I kind of understood that, because this may not be for everybody. There's no sense in wasting your money and wasting my time. Absolutely. If we're not on the same page with what we want to do. Because I've talked to several people who have gotten in business with people, and now it's like, I wish I would have had a different mentor or a different person, because we're not, whatever else. And so I think it's important with people who are in businesses like that they also, interview. It seems easy. Oh yeah, you want to join? Come on. You want to join? Come on. And I'm building this big team, but you find out 3 months down the road that they're falling off because this is not really what they wanted to do.
Right.
And I speak to that because I used to sell jewelry, and people are flaky. It's good at the moment, and then a little while later, and it's like, it doesn't really do good for your numbers. You know what I mean?
Right.
It messes you up. So I would definitely say that people need to interview both ways to make sure that that's good. So is there anything that you can think of that you did that maybe you would discourage people? Well, don't do that. I wish I would have had somebody tell me not to do it that way and do it a different way. Anything like that?
Not really. It's just like not, like you said, compare yourself to other people or you have to do what works for you because it is your business. Mm-hmm. And I do think for me, was something I probably wouldn't do as much now. Like I said, I got attracted to the new because we had like new releases and I just was buying, like, even though at some point my inventory was fine where I didn't need to keep, but I was like, oh, new. So, but now I'm kind of like, I stopped. I paced myself. So like, I don't even look at the posts from paparazzi because I don't want to get tempted. But we have to stay active every month, so you have to buy a certain number of pieces. But I haven't bought anything in like 2 weeks, and I'm like so excited. But I'm going to have to buy something before the month is out. But I would say people to not get caught up in the new. You know, you got to do according to your budget, and I feel like if you have enough inventory, then sell that and then replenish it with the money you make from your sales and not go into your personal funds if you don't have to, because you're not really making money at that point. So.
And speaking from a person, and I'm sure Serena and any other craft person knows, sometimes you get so caught up in buying stuff that you don't even get to use the stuff you bought. Or I just did a video last week, I think. I forgot I had bought something and I happened to look over and it was a whole machine and I was like, oh, let me open it and use it. So that's when you know you got problems. So I had decided I wasn't purchasing anything else for the rest of the year, and then I saw something and I was tempted and I was like, nope. I'm like you. I'm trying to get to that January one without buying any more equipment or anything else. It can be hard.
It can.
We want the new, but it's not required to be successful in business. Jewelry never gets old. It always comes back around. Some of the things that our parents wore is coming back around now. So you know how that is. And really it just takes the right customer to see it and want it.
Exactly.
Those people had never heard of it. So don't need new. And you got to kind of say, once I sell this, then I'll buy this.
Right.
Yeah, because you can.
That would be my advice to people new into the business. Don't just keep buying.
Absolutely. Because then it won't be a profit anymore.
Right.
You'll be buying your own product. Well, that is absolutely awesome. So I am so glad that I had an opportunity to speak with you today. And it is such a small world because even though this is my first time meeting Barbara or Barb, come to find out, we know a lot of people in the same circle.
Yeah.
Actually from the same state as well. So that was a definite treat to find that out. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people before we wrap this up?
No, I just thank you all for coming on. Thank you for having me, Carla. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate it. And I did not forget that you said you're going to try to get your daughter on here, right?
Yes.
She's one of the ones who do not like to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, she really doesn't. She can have it like on a black screen.
So hopefully I will get a chance in the new year to interview her as well. Tell her it's not so scary. It's not so scary. But again, people, before we get out of here, check Barb out on all her platforms, paparazziaccessories.com. Her number is 485648. Make sure you are using that number so it can get directly to her, whether it's if you just want to purchase something, whether if it's you want to join her team, check her out. She is also on Facebook and Instagram under Barb's Brilliant Gems. Hopefully you guys got a chance to watch us live, but if you didn't, you can catch us on the replay because this will be up on my channel, CLM Custom Designs. Make sure you check it out under the lives, and you will be able to catch her on the replay. Again, before we get out of here, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I have a lot of great things that are coming up on my channel for the new year. I have to tell you here that you will not see me next week. I will be out of here, finally getting the opportunity to celebrate my 30th anniversary.
Oh,
So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are celebrating late, but we are celebrating nonetheless. Now that I have my passport, which was a struggle, but
Where you
anyway,
going?
we are going on a cruise. So I am excited about that.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
excited
exciting.
about that. Yes. So do not look for me not next week, but in 2 weeks when the next one will drop. But I might sneak an extra one in when I get back, just so we can keep the cycle going. But otherwise, guys, until I see you again, be safe. Don't forget to check out Barbara. Thanks for everyone who is in the live comments. I appreciate you as always. And we are going to end this live. Barbara, hang on one second.